Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Medicom Toy Mafex number 235 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Renewal version Spider-Man Peter B. Parker. So this is not just a plain old reissue, this is a renewal version. What the difference is, I think it's just improved paint apps as opposed to like a reissue, which would be the exact same. From what I could tell, like with the Miles Morales figure, literally the only difference is much better paint apps in terms of like the web lines on his suit. I think we're going to have the same thing here for Peter Parker. But anyway, this is now available in stock right now at Big Bad Toy Store. Shout out to them for getting this out to me so I could take a look. This one is pretty cool. I heard lots of really good things about it. We got soft goods on there. We've got the Peter B. Parker like disheveled look. Plus, you could switch him into the full Spider-Man suit. That is an awesome thing. So looking at the package, we get a look at the figure. We got the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse logo. We get a look at the figure there on the side. Get a look at the figure on the other side there. And then here you can see we got the different shoes. There was the barefoot look there, and we get the full Spider-Man look there. So I'm excited about this one. So let's go ahead and get Peter B. Parker out of the package and take a better look. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We've got about 3 months left and just over 2,600 subscribers to go. With your help, I know we can make it to the goal, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button now. Okay, so here we have Peter B. Parker out of the package, and this is a fun one so far already. I know I'm really going to like it. He dropped his pizza. So let's go ahead and do a rundown of the accessories, since this video is going to be a pretty quick overview, kind of like the Miles Morales video was. As you can see, we get 2 of the long webs where he could grip onto the web there. We get 2 of those. We get 2 of these medium webs, as you can see here, and these ones will, you know, clip around the wrist peg there. So we got 2 of those, and then we have 2 of the shorter webs. These are the same web pieces that Miles comes with, although I think the big difference is Peter B. Parker comes with 2 of these grip ones, whereas Miles, I think, only came with 1. Now, on the package, out of the package, he's got the boot and the Chuck Taylor shoes on, and then you get a pair of bare feet, which is cool, and then you get a pair of the Spider-Man magnetic feet there, and then we get this whole lower leg system with the regular feet on there because his ankles are showing, so obviously that's not going to work when it comes to Spider-Man suit. So they have swappable leg pieces. That's pretty innovative and pretty crazy that we got that. Looking further into the accessories, we get a slice of pizza there. We also get a grip hand with the coffee mug, so a whole hand that actually has the coffee mug be a part of it. The hands that we got, looks like we got web gripping hands, we've got fists, we've got open relax hands, we've got semi-grip hands, we've got thwip hands, we've got wall crawling wide open hands, we've got wall crawling wide open magnetic hands, and then we have other like wide fingered open hands. They're not as wide as the wall crawling hands, but they're open just like Miles Morales did. And then we have another pair of like open relaxed hands here. So these are not quite grips, but they are relaxed hands. Those are actually on the figure out of the package. So soft goods, we got a nice jacket on there. I think size-wise, the jacket looks really good. It's got bendy wire at the jacket, so you can kind of pose it out like certain ways. If you're doing it, like if he's coming down or something, you can kind of flare it out. He's got these gray sweatpants on there, and these look really good. Nice and form-fitting, so they don't look large. Whereas I think Miles Morales, you know, some of the tricky stuff on there is these shorts just look very big on him. Like that belt looks crazy big and stuff, and then the jacket fits a little funky. I think for Peter B. Parker, because like size-wise he's a little bit bigger, so they could work with it a little bit more, that it fits quite nicely. Now, watching a video of this Peter B. Parker and trying to see what the difference is between the original release and this renewal version, because this gets a whole new Mafex number, whereas, you know, typically reissues would keep the same number. I think paint apps are definitely going to be a lot better on this when it comes to the web pattern, just like on Miles Morales, because one of the videos that I had seen, it would look pretty rough. So we'll take a close look at that pretty soon. Oh, I forgot to mention the head sculpt. So we have the unmasked head with the half masked neck, or the half exposed neck. Then we get the half mask, kind of like Miles Morales did. And then we get 2 extra heads. You get the full costume neck. Then you have the wide eyed lens, and then the squinty lens there. And then we also get that pulled off mask portion there. It's got a peg hole in there, so one of these hands will be able to grip that mask just like Miles Morales. So that is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get in for a closer look so we can swap out those heads and take a look at the figure and everything. Oh, okay, so starting it off here, I already have the squinted eyes on there, so that looks really good. I will kind of put this together so you could see like the full suit with the Spider-Man head sculpts on there and everything. This one's a little bit more difficult to pull just the head off the neck. You really have to grip that neck piece on there to be able to do it, and it's a little tricky, not gonna lie, but you can do it. There's the wide-eyed lens on the Spider-Man head, and that looks pretty good there. And then turn the head to the sides, grip that neck, and then pull up on it, and then you can get the half exposed neck on there, as you could see there. I wonder, it probably should be turned more so that way. And then boom, we've got the half mask head sculpt, and that looks really good. Looks just like Peter B. Parker from the Into the Spider-Verse movie. And then see, and then this one always wants to pull that neck off. It's actually a little bit trickier on the unmasked head sculpt. And then out of the package, this is how it looks. Paint-wise, it looks really good on that 5 o'clock shadow. Hair-wise, sculpt-wise, everything I think looks fantastic. Just like the Miles Morales figure, Mafex killed it when it comes to like animated versions. Actual human actors and stuff like that, they don't do the best of jobs, but on these, they seem to do really well. Is that neck right? Do I have it backwards? Should it be like that? No, because that doesn't really fit on there nicely. Yeah, that should be it. It just feels like the neck kind of sticks out a little bit. I don't know how I feel about that. Let me see. Yeah, that should be it. Okay, but here we go. Looking at the rest of the figure, the boots and the shoe just looks really cool. I'm going to go ahead and take this off so we could take a look at the spider suit. One way to do it is you pull the hands off. They come off very easily. And then you could just easily work the jacket back to take it off. So very, very easy there. As you can see there, yeah, the web lines are painted way nicer this go around. Like the ones that I had seen before, like however they applied the black in the web lines, they did it very thick. It reminds me of like the Amazing Spider-Man figure, the Marvel Legends from the Ultimate Green Goblin wave, how the web lines just look like a dirty figure because they just couldn't paint the web lines real well. But here, yeah, it comes out looking much nicer, a lot more deep red as opposed to just being washed out with that black paint that they put in here. Okay, so the pants, I think we're gonna have to take the shoes off, so we get the boot off, we get those Chuck Taylors off there, and then we could just pull this down and off. It's a stretchy material, which is quite nice. So that's a funny look there when you have the legs like that, but I guess we just pull on them. They come off very easily, like so, and then we can get this part on. I love how they do this. I don't think the original versions did this. I know they weren't doing this at first, where you have these pieces that holds, you know, the matching set together, like the hands and the feet and everything. I kind of like that. Is it that big of a deal? No, not at all, but you know, I still like it. And then we could pop these legs right on in there, and then bam, we get our full Spider-Man suit. And yeah, that looks really good. The web lines painted quite nicely. The animated style, it fits very well. He's got a little bit of a gut. Yeah, so that just really, really works. Like this is like one of the few, I know Sentinel made one, and then we have the Mafex, but there isn't like a full-on Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse that we've got. Marvel Legends is making one. It's coming soon, but it's not even Peter B. Parker. It's got the blonde hair, 1610 universe Peter Parker, but that'll be the first regular suit Spider-Man that we get, you know, for those movies, and that's going to be pretty exciting when it comes. Let's go ahead and pop that off, and let's put the fully masked head sculpt on there. And bam, we've got our Peter Parker, our Spider-Man, and that just screams Into the Spider-Verse. I really like the proportions and the details and everything in there. And then with the Mafex, we know that the articulation is going to be really, really good. So let's go ahead and clear this out, and let's go ahead and take a look at that articulation now. Okay, so Spider-Man, he can look all the way up, which is fantastic. He can look all the way down. That neck gives us a lot of good pivot and everything. You could do a full rotation, so lots of good movement on that neck there. The arm, you can get the arm to go straight on out. You get a full rotation in there. You got a butterfly joint, so it doesn't actually... You can... Well, you know what? That is good. You can get the arm to go back pretty far, as you could see there. And then crossbody, you got really, really good crossbody there with that butterfly joint going forward, so that's good. You got an upper thigh cut in there, double jointed pinless elbow that much bend there. Wrist swivel, they're on and hinge. They are on a ball joint, so you can move those that wrist around however you need the hands to do, which is good. You get a couple of points of articulation in here. You have a ball joint where I think it feels, I don't want to say loose, but you can move the waist a little too easily for my liking. It won't move on its own, but you know, like if you're just kind of doing stuff, it can easily rotate on that ball. So just a heads up. So, you know, with the ball joint and the diaphragm, you can get him to tilt all the way to his left that way. You can tilt all the way to the right that way, which is pretty crazy. Going back, you can go back that far, but some gap at the waist, not as much as Miles did, but there's a huge gap here at that top diaphragm. So just a heads up on that. Coming forward, he can crunch forward that much in total. A little bit of gap back there. Up here on his back isn't so bad. So just a heads up on that. You could swivel at the waist. You could swivel at that diaphragm. You get a little bit of a drop down hip on there. Not a huge amount, as you can see. It doesn't drop down very much, but you do get some. The legs go out that far apart. That is pretty good. He can kick forward that far. That is good. The leg doesn't really go back. Kind of like Miles, he doesn't really go back. You get some swivel in there. There's not a full swivel, but you can see we can get a little bit. It's definitely more than what Miles had, so that is good there. You get a double jointed knee, gets you that much bend there. There's no calf swivel or anything like that, but the foot can hinge down quite a ways. You can hinge up quite a ways, ankle pivot, and you have toe articulation in there. So pretty good articulation. We're going to put those pants back on, and we're going to put the jacket back on, and let's see how much that's going to hinder the movement in the arms and the hip leg area. Okay, so I got the jacket and the pants back on. The pants have a lot of flexibility to them, so you're really not going to lose any articulation except when trying to do the splits. Obviously, you can't do it nearly as much, but you can still kick those legs out quite a bit. You can still bend the leg, no problem, so that's not an issue there. The jacket isn't going to do a whole lot either. The elbow doesn't go as much, but still goes plenty far enough, I would say. Whoop, pulled that hand right off. So that's good. And then obviously because it's an open jacket, that's not going to get in the way of anything there. So yeah, these don't hardly hinder at all. Like for Miles, it hinders quite a bit on those shorts. But with the material for the sweatpants, it's a lot more flexible. The coat is thinner on Peter Parker because, you know, with Miles, it had a layered look. So it was thicker material. Which doesn't allow it to kind of move as freely, but with Peter B. Parker, it moves much nicer for sure. Okay, so doing the side-by-side comparison with the Marvel Legends version, I think one benefit that the Marvel Legends version has is he has the ungloved hand, so you don't see part of his costume. Whereas on the Mafex, we don't have a choice. He doesn't come with regular bare hands. You only have the costume gloved hands for him. Other than that, the Mafex is far superior because we could just get all kinds of movement in the figure, and just all around it looks a little bit better. The soft goods, I think, fit well with the figure, whereas, oftentimes, again, soft goods can look a little big. The jacket might be slightly oversized, but I think it works out well. Hasbro did a great job on this Peter Parker head sculpt for sure, but Mafex, I think, did it a little bit better. So that's there. They definitely did better when it comes to Miles Morales, but not that this one's a bad figure at all. But Mafex definitely killed it with their Peter B. Parker. Okay, and then Marvel Legends, we did get this version of Peter B. Parker when Across the Spider-Verse came out. So it was, again, it took a while for us to get a full-on Spider-Man from that world. Even though it hasn't even come out yet, it is up for pre-order, and then it's still available to pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. I'll have a link in the video description below for, the Mafex, Miles, Peter, and Gwen, as well as the upcoming Marvel Legends figures. But, we could pull this full-on look here because we do get those bare feet included as well. So that's pretty cool. But it's still nice that we get a full Spider-Man suit. So let's go ahead and get back into that full Spider-Man look. Okay, so that's going to be it for the overview of the Peter B. Parker, since it's not really new, even though it's kind of new. Here we have the full suited version of Miles Morales and Peter B. Parker. And you can see Miles is tiny. I almost feel like maybe he's a little too small. And the way the legs are, because the hip is so small, the legs feel like they need to bow out, which is kind of weird. It's it's just such a small figure. It's just so thin and stuff, but it's animation accurate, you know, so it has to have that very stylized look, and that's kind of where there. So it makes sense. It just seems so thin and so tiny, but it is pretty good. Surprisingly better than, you know, I had initially thought it was going to be based on some of the feedback that I had heard, but I'm very happy with them. These two are in stock right now. I can't wait to show you guys Spider-Gwen next to them. That's going to be in the next video. In Spider-Gwen, initially when I got mine, it was in stock and then it sold out, but it has since gone up for pre-order because it's getting a standard reissue and not a renewal version like these two got. So these are the renewal versions in stock now at Big Bad Toy Store. Better paint apps on the web lines, I think, is the biggest difference, and I think the other difference might be, you know, the plastic piece that holds the hands together and things like that, which so you may not lose pieces and they may not pop out of the packaging, you know, so easily. And I think I think that's the only difference. Other than that, better paint apps. So I don't know that it's enough for you to like say, oh, I need to replace mine and get these renewal versions. I think if you missed out on those first ones, these renewal versions are kind of a no-brainer. They came out really good. I hope we get some Across the Spider-Verse figures by Mafex. They tend to be very late on stuff. Very, very late. Like just recently, the Spider-Man No Way Home figures were announced, so it's gonna be some time. So I can't wait, you know, until they do those. But for now, these ones are some really good ones from Into the Spider-Verse. You guys let me know what you think. And before I forget, here is the comic Spider-Man to go along with that. And you can see size-wise, they're Peter B. Parker's actually a little bit taller than the comic Spidey, but comic Spidey is actually, you know, a little bit bulkier, of course. And, you know, this is definitely a great, you know, Mafex figures. They make really good MCU figures, and I can't wait for the Daredevil to come out. It's released overseas, so I can't wait for that to come out and hit Big Bad Toy Store, so I can get it, because you know, I used to get all my imports direct, you know, from Japan, but now I just go with Big Bad Toy Store. So Daredevil is going to be coming out soon. The comic Captain America is going to be coming out soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that one yet, but the Daredevil for sure I'm looking forward to. And then eventually Spider-Man 2099. And there's the Tom Holland next to that Peter B. Parker. Definitely a really fun one. A good Spider-Man, although stylized for that animation. But if you just want a good Spider-Man figure, this is definitely a good one. Plus you get the added soft goods stuff to really kind of get that disheveled Peter Parker where he comes through and his suit's all tore up and he's got to kind of makeshift cover up his suit. I think it's great. You guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you have the original release version, let me know if you spotted any other differences, and then let me know what you think of the renewal version. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.